Hi there.
Hi, welcome to Curious Collection. I'm Will.
I'm Cinnamon.
Today we're going to talk about automating our business policies, automating our stores, automating our entire eBay business as much as possible. It's going to save us time. It's going to make us more profitable. We're going to be able to do more listings with less interference. So first of all, we want to start in the beginning with buying, and that we want to try to, at least in our business, and again, every business is unique. Please take the things that we talk about that apply to your business and use them to the best of your ability. Everything
if they don't apply to you,
right?
That's okay too.
Yeah, it's all right. If your business doesn't look like ours, it's okay. So to begin with, we're going to automate our buying. We have people that are out in the field every day at the thrift stores, at the flea markets, and they're picking and they're buying items specifically with us in mind. They'll give us a call. They'll say, hey, come on over. I have this for you. I think you'd be interested. Take a look at it. Or we know if we're going to go to a specific flea market, we have vendors that we work with. They will have items. We know ahead of time. They're going to have the items that we're looking for, and they're going to be in the right condition, the right quality, and the right price.
So being at the flea market all day, it can take a lot out of you. So if you're able to really focus your time and energy and money into those trusted buyers that oh, they always give me a good deal, or they've got the really good products, then it kind of helps save your sanity. Then you can just kind of glance around at the rest, but you don't have to do those deep dives because you've already got your people in mind.
Right. So we don't source typically from flea markets from thrift stores, because they don't typically sell the types of items that we sell in our store. Now, just because your business might rely on thrift stores doesn't mean that the rest of the stuff that we have doesn't apply to your business. So hang in there. The next thing is that
the packaging.
Right. We always use the same processes. We always use the same packaging. So, we have a vendor that we use for our large rigid envelopes. We have a vendor that we use for our sleeves that we ship our magazines in with the rigid backers. We have the vendor that we use for our jewelry boxes. So that's one of those things. We don't have to think about it. We bookmarked those locations. We know where to click to get to that vendor. We don't have to research every time. Oh, well, who did I buy that from? Or who had the good deal, or who had the right price with quality. And
that's important, because we could probably find some of those items cheaper, but they don't have the same quality that our customers are expecting, or that we expect from ourselves.
Absolutely. So just so you know, we have had a lot of questions about packaging and what types of packaging we use. So we did add an affiliate link. We are compensated between 1% and 3% on those sales, and that is down in the description for the video. Again, it does not add any cost. If you decided to click on one of those links and purchase those items, that's built into the cost of that. So it would just be, that additional advertising dollar that would come to us. So no pressure there.
Reducing your travel time and mileage. So when you know about what, where you're going, you can, we talk about whenever we go to Webster's, then we always stop at the packaging place that's out by there, because we do want to reduce our mileage. Neither one of those would be really worth going to individually, but being able to hit both of those places at the same time, we're able to save on mileage cost, and to kill two birds with one stone.
So that is one of those things that we know this person sells salvage boxes, basically, boxes that have been involved in truck accidents and that type of stuff, or maybe they were rejected because the box was dusty or something. I don't know. We're able to get the 12 by 12 by 8 boxes that you might pay $1.50 or $2 for 50 cents a piece. And we're able to get the 16 by 12 by 8 boxes for 50 cents a piece. So, those are great buy-in prices. We know who the vendor is. We know that when we're going to be traveling, we're going to pick those up. We're going to get the mileage right off on the first trip anyway. We're combining tasks. We're getting it all at once.
Right.
So next thing we've got is we want to automate our eBay store. The actual store, we're going to look at our business policies. So this applies if you have an eBay store. if you do not have an eBay store, you cannot build business policies. At least to my recollection, the last time I did not have a store. So we want to set up the shipping policy. So if you use the Ground Advantage, set up a Ground Advantage policy with your payment method, with your return policy. The return policy can be whatever you choose it to be. And set up the dimensions that you plan on using for the type of package, for the type of product that you're going to use. So as an example, I got my postcards. I'm going to ship my postcards. I know that these are going to either go Ground Advantage based on weight or value, or they're going to go with the eBay standard envelope. And I know that I can ship up to 3 of these for 1 ounce. So that's something that I'm going to have built in. I'm going to have my postcard, and that's what I'm going to name in my store. That's what we name it, is postcard shipping. And it's going to have all of the things set up for it ahead of time. Mm-hmm. And then as we're automating our business policies, maybe you've got 5 or 6 different business policies based on the types of products that you sell.
Right, because we also have jewelry.
Right. So we ship jewelry. Jewelry's typically under 4 ounces. Mm-hmm. We ship it in either a 9x6 or a 5x7 envelope, and we have our specialty boxes that we use. We know that it's going to be under 4 ounces, so we can pre-fill 4 ounces. It saves that step. I know it doesn't seem like a lot. 2-3 seconds here, 5 seconds there. It really adds up. Mm-hmm. It used to take me, say, 30 minutes to build a listing. Now I can do a listing, depending on the category, in 2 to 5 minutes. So it really does help to just align everything within your business policy. Decide how you want to handle returns. Do you want to accept returns? Do you not want to take returns? And then if you do want to take returns, do you want to have authority over whether or not you're going to accept the return, or are you going to just automate the return? So in our store, we accept all returns. Mm-hmm. No questions asked. If you click that you want to send your item back and you want a refund, it will automatically generate a label. We don't have to think about it. We don't have to get upset about it. We don't have to decide whether or not you're worthy of that return process. We say, if you buy it from us, we're going to stand behind it. You can return it up to 30 days, and you're going to have free shipping round trip. Mm-hmm. That's what we decide to do in our business. Again, you don't have to do that, but that's what we find works best for us. We don't want to be bothered with people and, well, I want to return it because it didn't fit. The color wasn't right. It looked different in the pictures.
Right. We know that, like, in our business specifically, jewelry has a high return rate. So we just know that that's just going to be worked into the business cost.
Right. We know that on our fine jewelry, up to 2% return rate. That's rather high for selling online. Whereas our other stuff, our ephemera, is like hardly next ever. To zero. Yeah. So, and postcards, again, next to zero. The only problems that we ever have is that it gets lost in the mail somehow. Mm-hmm. So, automating those business policies, huge advantage. If you automate the returns, it takes a lot off your mind too.
It does.
So then we're going to talk about, once we've got our business policy set up, we want to build templates. So if you're unfamiliar with building templates, there's a lot of videos out there that will tell you exactly how to go through and set up a template. But basically, you're going to choose the category. You're going to build a title that is universal for all of the items that you plan on listing. So we're going to list like items together. Mm-hmm. We're going to go into that with the intention that they're all going to be the same or similar. And then we're going to choose item specifics that are also going to be the same for all of them. So I actually pulled a stack of postcards. Now, these are all Vermont postcards. And you can see, as I fan them out here, that I've got all of my chrome cards put together. And then I've got all of my white border cards. And then I have all of my linen cards. So I'm going to start out with a template that's going to say chrome. And I'm going to say in my title, I'm going to put Vermont. And I'm going to put postcard, and then I'm going to have, whatever other pertinent information applies to these cards pre-done, so that when I do scan these, I'm going to be able to just throw the photo in, add a couple of keywords that are specific to that card, and I'll already have my listing location filled out. So all I got to do is launch it, right? Mm-hmm. It's already got the shipping associated to it. It's already got the return policy associated to it. I could do a postcard in 2.5-3 minutes.
Right. Right.
So,
and then he can also, right there in the SKU, he'll put all of these in the same envelope to go into the orange cabinet. So, he'll have all of the SKU numbers in there already. So it does. It makes it so much easier. You can just go on to the next, go on to the next, go on to the next.
So the other part of that is when we're talking about this is we're going to talk about the photography process or the scanning process. So like I said, I've already got the cards all sorted.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't need to be an in-depth process. You don't need to drill down to minute layers.
You can, but
you can.
You don't.
If you
don't,
have
don't
items
do that. If because like that's how my brain works sometimes, is that I'll be like, well, hold on a second, because I need to subcategorize this like to the nth degree. So just kind of be broad. It's okay to be broad.
Yes. Don't waste time on the sorting process. It's okay to sort again, I'm sorting 50 cards at a time, and that's very quickly because I'm using very broad category.
Mm-hmm.
Chrome, white border, linen. It's very broad.
Right.
I'm not going, oh, well, what's the address on this one and categorizing them all by the street number. So then we run the postcards, we run them through our duplexing scanner. We bought the extra, we went the extra step. We bought the high-end scanner so that we have the ability to scan them all very quickly. We can scan 30, 50 cards
in a minute.
Yeah, 1 to 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's great.
Right. Both sides. If I was to sit there and photograph everything, it would take me an hour. So the
quality wouldn't be there either, which is really nice about our scanner, is that it's the quality of and then it also will to do, especially on his ephemera, do the borders so that you can see if there's bent corners or any of those things.
Right. So another thing that we do, again, we're sorting things ahead of time. So we have the photo booth behind us that you see. It's already set up. All we got to do is flip the switch and turn it on. We're ready to go. We don't need to set around. We don't need to set lights. We don't need to worry about any of the lighting situations. It's already set up.
And then again, with my jewelry, the same thing he's talking about. I might do my gold necklaces first, gold tone. And then I might do my silver tone necklaces. And then I might do, you know what I mean? And then I might do the gold tone bracelets, so that when I'm listing, then I can just sell similar, or, find another one of those listings and sell similar off that, so that I can just kind of go with the flow, and it makes things move faster. You don't even have to switch your brain to something totally different.
Right. So another thing that I do with the ephemera, because sometimes, the ephemera will be a fold out brochure or something. It takes up 4 feet wide by 3 feet. We actually have a photo area set up with natural light that is outside, that is always set up, always ready to go. And then I can, if that's the type of product I'm working on, I can go and do that as well. So we have, basically 3-4 different ways that we capture images that are automated as much as possible. We don't have to do prep work to set that stuff up.
Right.
So the next thing we've got here is that
the shipping process.
The shipping process.
We have a very uniform shipping process as well for each category, so that, again, it doesn't take that brain power, and you can just go in, there's a process that just moves very, very well.
Right. We always, if we're shipping postcards, they always go in the same sleeve, always go in the same envelope. Ephemera is the same way, always has the same sleeve, always has the same envelope. The next thing is that, so we're basically building up to the point where we've sold an item. So the customer comes along, they buy the item. Our store is set up with automated positive feedback. There's a handful of pre-made comments that say, basically, thank you for shopping at our store, type of things. And once the item's paid for, they get automated feedback. We don't have to go to the 5,000 items that we sold every year and leave feedback for them. It's automated. eBay policy prohibits you from leaving negative feedback on a buyer. So why not just automate it? Why not just give everybody positive feedback from the beginning? There's a lot of people out there. They're not going to leave you feedback unless you have left them feedback and that it's positive. So just leave them positive feedback in the beginning and just be done with it. That's the way I look at it. You know, sitting there in a standoff situation, well, I'm not going to leave you feedback unless you leave me feedback. You're never going to get feedback. So just get the good feedback. Right. Just leave it. Hopefully they're honest people and they're going to leave you positive feedback as well.
Yeah.
So
the bookkeeping.
Yeah.
So and taxes.
So we had talked about at the beginning of the year that we wanted a better bookkeeping process. So we used to use Excel. We would take our monthly statements and we would take that, we would plug it all into our Excel form, and we were getting feedback. Basically, we were getting the information we needed for our taxes and for our profitability. But it wasn't until 2 weeks after that month had ended, because we had to wait for all of those documents to come through, all of those tax forms.
Because again, I couldn't do a line by line Excel spreadsheet because, like he said, we have 5,000 items. So each one of those items has like 3 different shipping costs. And so like if I tried to do a line item on our store, it would just be absolute insanity.
It would take you all day.
That's all I would be doing.
There are a lot of people that still use that system. And if you have 2, 3, 4 sales a day, and you can pull that data out of your transaction history, and you go, okay, I had an ad fee, I had a transaction fee, I had a store fee.
Right.
Then promotion fee. Promoted listing fee. That's fine. For us, that's too much. When we sell 30 items a day, that's 60 lines of fees. That's a lot.
It's just too much for me to be able to do as a single human, right? So if they have a computer that does that for you.
So there is software, tax software out there. This is not a promoted ad. We got my reseller Genie. We set it up on both of our eBay stores and on our bank account. So it pulls expenses from the bank, and it pulls all the fees from both of the eBay stores as well as all the sales. We daily will go in, spend less than 5 minutes just verifying all of those fees, and it's done. Yeah. We have up to the minute transaction history. We know what our profitability is to the minute, and it saves us a lot of stress and time at the end of the month trying to go back through receipts, trying to figure out, well, why didn't we capture this? Why didn't we capture that? Was there mileage associated with this? It's all done. We've already done it. We're up to the minute all the time.
Yep.
So next thing is that
I'm a big thing on alarms and reminders because my memory is horrendous. So when it comes to like, when we cross list or when I post things on Pinterest, right? I have a reminder, a to-do list on my phone, and it's got, a 5-minute timer. So I spend 5 minutes a day posting our best-selling items or our best items onto our Pinterest page so that there's more eyes on those items. But there's a lot of different things. I have a reminder on my phone to post the YouTube video to my Facebook to share it, so there's just all kinds of different reminders that I set for myself throughout the day for work-related, business, because that's what works for me is timers and reminders, so that I can just make sure that the things that we need to do throughout the day get done.
Right, absolutely. And that's one of the things that I like to do as well, is that because I can't relax if I know that there's this pressing, urgent matter that needs to be done. I can't let my mind relax on that until it's done. So if I'm worried about, say, Q4 quarterlies, I can't relax until it's done. But if I'm worried about it in the middle of December, that's a long time to worry. Right. So I set an alarm January 1st, remind me to do it. And then January 1st, I'll sit down and literally January 1st, we sat down and wrote a check to the IRS for our quarterly taxes.
Right.
Because it's required. So
right. So when at least for me, like I don't know that he calms down. But at least for me, if I put it on my to-do list, I'm not going to do it tonight. Like it's 10 o'clock at night and he's going, hey, we need to make sure that we put that Amazon affiliate link up. Okay. I'm going to put it on my to-do list. We're going to do it tomorrow. All is well. You know, so now I'm feeling better because it's on the to-do list. I know we'll get around to taking care of it tomorrow. You still are a little crazy because he had to do it at 2:00 in the morning. So
yeah, I couldn't sleep. It was bugging me. So anyway, again, if there's other things that you've done to automate your store, to make your listing process easier, to make your sales process easier, to make your sourcing process easier, let us know what's working for you.
Right.
Maybe some of the stuff that we mentioned doesn't work for you. That's okay. But maybe there's some things here that you haven't tried or that you're completely unaware of. I didn't know that I could automate feedback and automate returns. The idea that, oh, well, you can just have it automatically done and you don't ever have to think about it was amazing to me. And as soon as I knew that I could do that, done.
The business policies, that's not something that I typically go into. So the fact that he has already automated those, I don't ever have to think about it. You know, I just go in, I create my my template for my jewelry, and I just have to pull up my jewelry shipping. Done. No problem. I don't have to think about it. You know, so I love that part of it, that you don't have to think about it. I have so many things in my brain that I think about all the time. I love when I don't have to think about something. You know,
one of the things that we do in our second store, our ad store, virtually everything in the store is the same price because print ads tend to be towards the lower end of the market. We have automated offers. So if somebody looks at it and they don't buy it, then it automatically will send them an offer. Again, we don't have to worry about it. We know that that offer is within our range because we set it up the way that we want it. And we don't have to work that store like a job because it just runs on its own.
Right. If you do accept offers from your buyers, which we don't do, but if you do, you can automate that process as well.
Yeah, you can set up the percent off range. And if they send you an offer, say you want to accept anything that's
between 5 and 10%,
right, it'll automatically accept it for you. You don't ever have to look at it. You just get the chime that says you got a sale. So it's very easy. And I really do suggest if that's something you're interested in, you want, because I know when I first started my store, I had it set up to automatically deny people if they sent me an offer that was less than 50% because don't waste my time, and I would have people that would send me a message. Hey, I've sent you 3 offers. You denied them all. I never even was notified. Well, it's because you're lowballing me to a point that I can't accept that. So, it's automatically denying them. I'm not stressed out about it because it's automatically doing it for me. So that's our thoughts on the matter. Definitely automate some of these processes. Maybe you don't need to go all the way in like we have, but it's going to save you time and it's going to make you more money.
All right. So. Thanks, guys. Good luck to you out there. Like, subscribe, comment down below.